I'm proud to be an American, where at least we have AC. Something, something. Anyways, about electrician time. Yep, the AC video.
I'm just going to come out and say it. The Europeans are apparently making window cheese, and you're going to have to stick around if you want to know what that means.
Window cheese?
Today we're talking about the most important invention of the 20th century, air conditioning.
It is very important. My AC has been on the entire summer. Yep. And I feel nice. I can sleep very well too. Very refreshing.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. That's a pretty big claim. We came up with a lot of important stuff in the 20th century. That is true. However, air conditioning is the most important one. I'm going to prove it, and then I'm going to relentlessly talk smack about Europeans the entire.
Have you guys tried to sleep without AC and it gets like super humid and shit? It's the worst. Like you wake up, your bed is all sticky and shit. Like AC is actually the best.
Right after word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by Supremacy World War III. It is a free-to-play online PvP military-based strategy game. The entire thing's based on a World War III type scenario where you get to pick your country and go to war with the rest of the world.
I live in a basement, so whenever it gets above 20 degrees, I need to use the AC.
Yourself. They've just introduced a new shadow market, which is basically the black market where you can do a bunch of sketchy, illegal stuff under the table that's going to upset people if they find out. And I'm not exaggerating when I say it's going to upset people. That's literally a function of the game. If you get caught, it can actually cause insurgencies, civil unrest, or damage the morale of your country. Unpopular opinion, they should probably update it so it increases the morale of the American military if they get caught, because their unofficial motto is, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. I mean, it's never a war crime the first time. So if you want to give it a try, you can play with up to 99 other people, and it's available on both PC and mobile, and it's free.
I forgot
so
what I was
check it out, I'm gonna have a link in the
discount
code down below. Let's get back to the video. All right, we're not even talking about air conditioning right now, okay? If you're not chronically on the internet like myself, A, good for you, but B, let me fill you in real quick. Every June or July, there's a magical time of year where the British experience a heat wave. There's newspaper articles, there's British and European people getting on the internet talking shit about how the Americans just...
Guys, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. With my chest, everybody. I'm proud to be an American, where at least we have AC. Something, something. You know, the song.
Don't understand a British heat wave. We couldn't possibly survive, yada, yada, yada. So then I get on there, I'm competitive, they're talking smack. It's like, okay, I mean, how hot is it over there? Never been there. Maybe it is super hot. I have no idea. So
that's probably crashed out.
All the headlines are like, the British heat wave has reached over 30 degrees Celsius for the 5th day in a row.
Yeah, all you have to do to convert is ×2, add 32, and join the rest of the human race.
Okay, my country's flag is on the moon. I have no idea what 30 degrees Celsius is, so then you gotta get on Google again. You gotta ask it what 30 degrees Celsius is, converted into Fahrenheit, the superior way of measuring temperature. It's like 86 degrees, and these people are acting like they're melting. Buh! Actually, Celsius is better because it's a metric system. You know, that measurement system the entire world uses except for you guys. It's obviously the best. Buh! No, it isn't. It doesn't even make sense, okay? Fahrenheit is the easiest concept on the planet.
Wait. Okay. Before he crashes out, I'm gonna be honest. I like Celsius. Because whenever it's at 0 degrees, that means that the snow is freezing and shit, you know? I have to say it. I'm sorry. 20 degrees Celsius, that's when it gets kind of warm for summer, you know? At 8 degrees, that's when it gets kind of wintry and shit. At 0 degrees, that's when the water starts freezing and shit. Yep. It's related to what you know. Yeah. I like my Celsius. Yeah.
0 is cold, 100 is hot, based on the human experience, the end. Celsius, on the other hand, is based on the freezing and boiling point of water, which doesn't even make sense because the freezing and boiling point of water isn't a constant. It depends on like 20 other variables, including altitude. Okay, when somebody asks you, how hot is it outside? Nobody's asking you, how does a glass of water at sea level feel about the temperature outside? No, I'm asking you, are my balls gonna be sweaty if I go outside? Do I need to wear shorts? Do I need to...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At 0, yeah, the water freezes, but you know, that's kind of cold. At 20, that's summer. At 10, that's kind of freezy.
Bring baby powder? Is monkey butt a potential hazard? These are the questions I want to know. I don't give a fuck how water feels about it.
But everything's related to water.
I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. Anyways, this happens every year. The Europeans get on the internet, they complain about a heat wave, 86 degrees. They pretend like they're melting. They say the Americans don't understand. We couldn't possibly survive a British heat wave.
And they also blame the Americans Do you guys see the chart where they had the world map and the states had the AC and like the carbon and the smoke from the AC of the America was going all the way to Europe and shit? They were blaming it on the Americans.
Yada, yada, yada. Well, this year, something amazing happened. The FIFA World Cup is in America,
oh, yeah,
so a bunch of Europeans came to America, and they got to experience American heat, and it became overwhelmingly obvious.
Oh, yeah. Weren't there a lot of, like, Europeans that went to the World Cup and shit, and they were, like, basically praising AC? That happened, right, on social media?
Obvious to them, they are, in fact, just being giant pansy asses about the entire situation. At which point, the Europeans realized that they were wrong, they admitted defeat, and we all moved on. I'm just kidding. The Europeans pivoted, they moved the goalposts, and then the entire conversation became about air conditioning. Okay, I had no idea because I'm an American, and to be honest with you, I don't give a fuck about European politics, but apparently the British
based. Yup.
And the French are like morally and mentally just adamantly opposed to air conditioning to the point that it is literally a humongous political debate over there right now. And the right wing and the left wing over.
What the hell is this? Okay, get out of this. I gotta read this really quickly. I'm sorry. Air conditioning scourge of the French left. Oh, that's true, because they think the AC is right wing, right? Because of the pollution or whatever. Air conditioning political divide. Yes, okay, that's what I'm saying. Is it right wing to have air conditioning in France? It is. It's the smug leftists, basically. Oh, okay, makes sense. It's the smug leftists that think having AC is like right wing. Because of using the power and shit. Global warming, whatever, yeah. Aww. Europe is boiling and the far right is turning air conditioning to a wild culture. Oh my god. If you don't hate journalists enough, you need to hate them more. There's the scourge. Yeah.
Over in France is literally divided on air conditioning. Air conditioning in France is right-wing technology. I'm not exaggerating. And me, with how my brain works, now I have to know the history of air conditioning. So, from the top.
Let's go.
The first modern air conditioner was invented in 1902 by an engineer by the name of Willis Carrier. And
Wait, no. This is fake. I remember seeing on Instagram that the air conditioning was invented by a black woman in Africa. I'm kidding, by the way.
Willis Carrier was hired by a publishing company to come in and solve a problem. The problem this publishing company had was that when they were trying to print things in summer, the heat and humidity was causing fluctuations in the paper and the printing process, giving them an inconsistent product that they weren't happy with. So he gets hired to come in and figure out a way to make their product more consistent while they're printing in summer. And his first option is, obviously, I'm just going to change the environment. I'm going to make it a constant. I'm going to get rid of the heat and the humidity so it's no longer a factor. Then we can tune the machines once and we can print away because it's always going to be the same temp and the same humidity in the factory. Okay, pause.
Yeah, that's smart, right? Just change the environment so you don't have to change the machine. That's very simple logic.
I need you to understand, as a person in 2026 that's grown up with like modern technology, this sounds obvious, like duh, just do that. But at the time in 1902, homeboy literally came out of left field and is like, clearly, I just have to change the rules of physics. I have to change the entire world around me so this works. I'm literally gonna attempt to domesticate the fucking wind so I can print books. Okay, do you understand how insane that is? That would be if like the Wright brothers, when they were trying to design an airplane, were like, fucking we'll just turn off gravity. Duh.
That would work.
It's science.
But somehow, this guy manages to do it, fixes the printing problem, sees the potential, patents the idea, patents the phrase air conditioning, and then he goes and creates the Carrier Air Conditioning Company, which is still around today, has like over 50,000 employees, and is worth over $20 billion.
That's pretty cool.
So air conditioning is like primarily used in these factory type settings. In 1914, there are some people starting to get air conditioners in their homes, but it's extremely rare.
It probably was super expensive, right, to have a personal air conditioning in the house at the start? Because I think those units probably were insanely huge and not mass produced, right?
Early 1930s, they are starting to have like commercial air conditioning units that you can put in a home, but they cost
AC
like $10,000,
really nice.
which in 1932, convert that to today's money, it's almost like $250,000 for.
Oh. Okay.
For a window air conditioning unit, but people were willing to pay it because if you got the money, not having ball sweat is priceless.
It's a flex.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Oddly enough, you can make the argument that air conditioning is actually responsible for movies, TV, and Hollywood as a whole. Because outside of manufacturing, one of the first industries to adopt air conditioning is movie theaters, which makes so much sense because I cannot.
That would make sense, right? If you don't have AC, movie theaters would be so like humid and really uncomfortable watching a movie for 3 hours not moving. That will that'll be annoying. You live in Alabama and don't live for air conditioning. If they want to give me another cool thing by saying it's right way to use it, okay. We'll have the cool stuff and even sexy uniforms. Yep. Especially the sexy uniforms. Very important.
Tell you how many times I've been shown like, oh, this is a silent film from 19 whatever the fuck, and oh, it was so funny at the time, blah, 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 blah. Nobody was going to movie theaters in the 1920s, the 1930s, the 1940s because they enjoyed watching silent films. They were going because that was the only place they could go to get air conditioning and get out of the heat for 2 hours.
That's actually pretty smart. Is that how people go to Costco during summer when there are heat waves and shit, right? Because they can just chill there and whatnot. Yeah.
Hours. You can actually go back and read accounts from people at the time where they're like, yeah, no, we don't go to the movie theater because we give a shit about the movie. We just go so we can go there to cool off. So in a way, it's pretty likely, or at least you could argue that if it wasn't for air conditioning, the film industry as we know it today might not exist.
Is that
regardless, movie theaters were a lot of people's first encounter with air conditioning, and once they saw it, they're like, holy shit, this is awesome. I want to get it inside my house.
Yeah, you can go without it
afterwards. But from here, the cost of air conditioners actually plummets because it's something that everybody can use and everybody wants. It's just like TVs. When I was a kid growing up, a flat screen TV was like $12,000. It was some absurd amount of money. And today,
yeah, you guys remember? Actually, am I the only hag in here? Probably not. I remember going from like the big TVs, like the fat TVs and shit that you had to like punch whenever it has like static and shit, and then you had like the flatter TVs, and you had like the slim TVs. And now they're basically $100 and you have like a big ass TV, right? Yeah.
It became so affordable. And buy a 70-inch flat screen TV that's better than those TVs when I was growing up.
Yeah, this, when I was growing up, would have been like $2,000 easily. Now it's over 100.
For like $400. So air conditioning got incredibly cheap, incredibly fast when you compare it to pretty much anything else. And by the 1950s, they were starting to have literal experiments that they would call air-conditioned villages. Basically, they were new housing developments where all these new homes had air conditioning in them. And they actually had psychologists and scientists go in. And the families that bought these homes volunteered to be studied for over a year to see the impacts of living in an air-conditioned climate in your home and how it would affect you. People had no idea what would happen. Would they go crazy? Would they not be able to handle going outside anymore? These were all huge unknowns at the time. And you want to know what the...
I'm gonna be honest. During summer, I kind of refuse to go outside if it's too hot. I like being inside my apartment with the cool AC. And when you come out from outside sweating and shit, it's so refreshing.
Psychologists and the scientists concluded about living in air conditioning. It's pretty fucking awesome, okay?
They
found out that everybody slept better, and they also found out that the housewives were reporting back to the psychologists that their husbands, and I quote, had a better disposition, aka...
Remember, guys, happy wife, happy life. Yep.
Their husbands weren't as fucking grumpy all the time. You can literally go back and read the articles. We'll read one right now. Headline, air conditioning helps with disposition. Women living in air-conditioned homes in Austin, Texas, the air-conditioned village, startled a team of psychologists and researchers by asserting their husbands' dispositions had somehow miraculously improved under the influence of air conditioning. Okay, when you're not hot, you're not grumpy. Fucking shocking, I know. Oddly enough, statistical data collected by these researchers indicated that indoor conditions within these homes could be conducive to support this opinion of these air-conditioned houses.
The AC works, so I won't have to beat Susan anymore.
Reading newspapers from the 50s is crazy because it's just like, well, the housewives are saying their husbands are in the better mood, but them bitches are crazy. We can't trust them. We need empirical data to prove their opinion
That is
might
true.
be correct.
Can't trust bitches. They be crazy.
Beautiful. I know.
But even more strongly indicated is the likely possibility that the women themselves, as a result of enjoying the comforts of air conditioning, were able to look upon their spouses with a little more than usual benevolence.
That is true.
Translation, mom and dad
That is true, because at the time they didn't work. They stay at home all day. So maybe it helped, you know? They didn't have to take as many breaks doing the cleaning and the laundry because they had AC.
Are both in a better mood because nobody's sweating their ass off all day, obviously.
See,
okay, just so we're all on the same page, if you're not picking up on a put down so far, air conditioning might be responsible for the entire film industry, TV as we know it today. It helps keep families together, and that's just scratching the surface.
Lowers
on why it's
divorce
the most
rates.
important invention of the 20th century. Just to prove my point, let's have a thought exercise. I asked Google, completely blind. I had some guesses because I know a little bit about history, but I just went in blind and asked Google, what are the most important inventions of the 20th century?
You know what, guys? We gotta look it up. We gotta look it up. If I'm correct, this might happen. Let's see. Did AC lower the divorce rate? It's thinking, it's thinking. Aww. Wait, when? Similar. Aww. 4 to 5. Refined. Ooh. Long-term declines. Aww. Oh, no fault divorce. That's probably why. Yep. I think I'm correct, though. I think I'm correct.
Century, let's see what they came up with. So coming in at number 1, we have the transistor, obviously extremely important, but the mass manufacturing of transistors isn't possible without air conditioning because in order to manufacture a transistor, you need purified air, humidity control, and temperature control, all of which are provided by air conditioning. So no air conditioning, no mass manufacturing of transistors. One more point. Coming in at number 2, the internet, okay? Internet also can't exist without AC because the internet is run off of a bunch of server farms, which also need to be in a climate-controlled environment. You ever
just like Bitcoin or Dogecoin or all those AI data centers or whatever. They need AC.
Ever been inside of a server room? Pretty cold, pretty purified air. Can't have it without air conditioning. Coming in at number 3, penicillin. Obviously, incredibly important. The world's first antibiotic saved.
I'm allergic to penicillin. No, you know.
Tens, if not hundreds of millions
of
lives
on me, will kill me.
It was invented. And you know what? Would it exist without air conditioning? Almost certainly. However, would you be able to mass manufacture it to the degree that we do today as safely as we do without air conditioning? Absolutely not. Number 4, mass production of automobiles. Could that exist without air conditioning? Yes, it could. However, if you look at where most cars are manufactured, Texas, Tennessee, Alabama, Mexico, none of those places would be able to crank out cars to the degree that they do without air conditioning.
Propaganda? No. I like air conditioning.
In fact, most of the major cities in America that are in a hotter climate, like, I don't know, Las Vegas, Phoenix, Dallas, Houston, Orlando, Atlanta, all of which would probably exist to some degree if it wasn't for air conditioning. But air conditioning allowed them to grow into major metropolitan.
Yep. I used to go to Orlando a lot, and let me tell you, it's super humid as shit. If you don't have AC in Florida, you're suffering. It has to be torture, right? No AC in Florida, it has to be torture. Disney adult detected? No, I used to go with my family when I was a kid, but not anymore. So expensive. I'm not a Disney adult.
Areas. It's literally a saying.
And I was born in Florida, by the way. That's why I like to go there.
And last but not least, the airplane.
Miami-Dade
Would the Wright brothers have strapped some wings to a bicycle, drove it off a cliff, and figured out how to fly?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Is commercial flight without air conditioning as we know it today possible? Absolutely not. The inside of that cabin on that plane would be 400 degrees if it wasn't for air conditioning. So yes, air conditioning is the most important invention of the 20th century. Which raises a question, why the fuck don't the Europeans just use it?
Right.
Aww.
Said how's his hair, don't he? Only chopped him down because he couldn't see the view no more.
I like Bluey. He appears sometimes when we set the videos.
Might be the most infuriating answers to a question I've ever gotten in my entire life. Answer number 1. Europeans don't need air conditioning because the climate isn't as hot as America. Now, setting aside the fact that that proves the initial point that America is hotter and we could survive a British heat wave, we'll just set that off to the side real quick. The Europeans say shit like, well, we wouldn't run them that often and we would only need them for like 1 month a year. Cool. Do you know how much shit I own that I don't?
Yep. I personally use AC only for 3 months a year. Kinda. I install it in May. And it's pretty much only running during June, July, and part of August. But that's enough. That makes a difference. Even if it's like 2 months, that's more than enough difference.
Don't need very often. I've had a spare tire in every car I've ever owned my entire life. I've never had to use it. I've still fucking got it just in case. If there was something that I only needed to use 30 days a year to make sure my balls weren't hot while I was trying to sleep, you best believe I'm gonna fucking own it. Oh, well, Europeans are tougher than you Americans. We'll just grit our teeth and bear it. Are you? Are you really? Because last I checked, 175,000 fucking people died.
Yeah, that's a lot. And also, I saw the videos during the summer. People in the EU were running to get those portable AC units for the windows, huh? I saw the videos on the malls. They were very desperate. They can't pretend.
From heat stroke because you're too fucking stupid to buy an air conditioner.
Yeah, some summers aren't hot either.
If there was any other event on the planet that killed 175,000 people, there would be memorials and statues commemorating what a tragedy this was. But because it's just you guys being like, well, the Americans invented a machine that can domesticate wind, but we don't want to admit they're right. So we would rather let all our young and elderly die of heat stroke than give them the W. What are you doing? Okay, which leads right into the next argument, the most infuriating one, because I used to build shit for a living. Americans don't understand because our homes are actually built to retain heat, so an air conditioner wouldn't work as well for us. Motherfucker, that—
If it retains heat properly, it's gonna retain the cold properly too. It doesn't make sense. The logic's bad.
That's just insulation. That's how insulation works, okay? Do you have insulation? A thermos? If you put hot tea or whatever stupid shit you guys drink in a thermos, you know how—
I just thought he pissed so many British people right now. So many British people are so mad right now. He insulted the tea.
It stays hot. Now dump it out and put fucking ice water in it. The ice water stays cold, okay? Your house isn't specifically designed to be hot and—
No, Americans do not hate tea. They love tea. They put a lot of sugar into it though. They call it sweet tea.
It's designed to have a controlled temperature regardless of what's going on outside. So if you buy an air conditioner and you cool off the house, it stays fucking cool. Well, air conditioning's really expensive. No, it isn't. You can buy it.
It's not. It's super cheap. Yep. Like a window unit, $200 max. It takes 2 seconds to install. Even I can install my own AC. And I'm kinda weak. Damn. It must be kind of retarded if you can install up an AC.
A window unit for $169 to cool off the room that you sleep in, or your living room, or whatever, okay? The average minimum wage of Europe is $8.33 American. That's 20 hours of the most unskilled labor that you have available in exchange for a magic box that domesticates the fucking wind so you don't have to sweat your balls off. Okay, that is a modern miracle, and you're saying that that's too expensive? I would pay an outrageous amount of money to see a British person go back in time and talk to one of their ancestors, some medieval peasant picking turnips outside of a castle, and explain to them that in the future there's a magic—
On a side note, I think we need more medieval peasants picking up turnips. Yep. Cut off their internet. Just let them pick turnips all day, every day. I think life will be better. Yep. With those 2%ers doing that, ooh.
Box that can make the house cold when it's hot outside, and in exchange for that, all they had to do was work 20 hours and they could cool off their house for years upon years to come, and then explain to them with deadpan stare, but I don't do it because it's expensive.
Are you pulling my leg?
Motherfucker, it's literally magic to these people. You have the opportunity to buy climate-changing magic for 20 hours of your time, and you're just like, nah, I'd rather let grandma and grandpa die from heat stroke. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm slowly coming around to the idea that this is actually a conspiracy by the European governments to slowly kill off old people so they don't break their universal healthcare system. There's no other logical explanation for—
The logic doesn't work? Because then why would they be importing the entire third world into Europe, huh? Doesn't work, doesn't work.
For why you would be anti-air conditioning. And apparently one of the big talking points is, oh, well, air conditioning is actually bad for climate change, so it's only making the problem worse. And then the climate activists get on CNN or the BBC or whatever, and they're giving interviews offering alternatives to air conditioning that you could do. I'm gonna show you.
Is he gonna show the videos that I think oh no, oh no. He's gonna show the videos that came out during summer, huh? Like those people with the fans spraying water into it and shit. Oh, that was so funny.
Because if I didn't show you the interview, you wouldn't believe
ridiculous.
Their solutions get progressively worse, but we're gonna go ahead and start off with their best solution. Solution number one.
If it gets really hot, I sleep under a wet sheet. That's my other technique.
How about no?
With a big bucket of water under the desk with my feet in the bucket of water.
Option number two.
Yeah. I can already tell this bitch right here comes from a wealthy family. She's privileged. Don't trust her.
Option number two, soak your feet in a bucket of water while you're sitting at home all day long. Also, no, B.
Do you drink the water once you're done at night? Or do you sell it? Let me know.
I know your house fucking stinks. It smells like wet feet and BO because you're not wearing deodorant and you don't have air conditioning, and I know you're sitting in the house sweating your ass off 24/7. No, I'm not doing it. And option number three, I can't believe this is real.
Including, would you believe it, painting windows with yogurt.
Painting the windows with what?
Including, would you believe it, painting windows with yogurt.
Guys, what is she saying? Painting windows with what? Yogurt? I was correct. She is in fact a woman and retarded.
How?
That has to smell so bad.
How are you this
That smells so bad. Oh God.
Your solution, rather than just
Can you guys imagine the smell and the fruit flies? Oh God.
admitting the Americans are onto something with this air conditioning shit is to smear yogurt on your fucking windows. You want to make window cheese rather than just turn on an air conditioner.
What do you think about that?
How fucking insane that sounds. Like, one of your biggest talking points is air conditioning is expensive. How expensive is it to smear a new layer of yogurt on all the windows on your house and then have your house smell like curdled milk?
Yogurt is expensive
and still be hot as shit. I can't even begin to fathom the amount of desperation and misery the person that figured this out was experiencing. Do you know how fucking hot and sweaty and delirious you have to be sitting at home in your living room on the couch for you to finally go, I gotta do something. I'm gonna try smearing yogurt on my windows.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
I like this movie.
Threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Like, what are you doing? Just get an air conditioner, for the love of God. Oh my God. At this point, I'm convinced that air conditioning could prevent World War III if you guys would just do it. No wonder you guys are always starting world wars and dragging us into it. You're all fucking grumpy and hot 24/7. Get some AC and...
That is true. Have you guys ever talked to German people? They always seem mad for some reason.
Come up with a peace treaty. I don't ever want to hear Europeans talk shit about America being dumb ever again. They always love to bring up like, oh, America has a bunch of gun violence, blah, 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 blah. Cool. More people are dying because you refuse to use air conditioning than Americans are dying from gun violence, all right? And by a lot. It's not even close. Europe is losing 175,000 people a year. To put that into perspective, America had roughly 60,000 people die in the Vietnam War. How do you not see how insane that is?
That's where the trees talk.
At this point is like the cheapest, most cost-effective, life-saving technology on the planet, and you're just like, nah, I don't want it. And the most beautiful part about all this is I know for a fact there's going to be a ton of keyboard warriors with a bunch of stupid talking points and smug comments in the comment sections, and this is going to get clipped and put on Twitter and Instagram and all these other places, and there's going to be all these comments, and you know what? None of those comments would be possible without air conditioning, because without air conditioning, the internet that you're using wouldn't function, and the phone you're holding in your hand wouldn't have been able to get manufactured. You are proving my point that air conditioning is the most important invention of the 21st century, and if you don't have some, you should get some, and that's all I gotta say about that. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch. Maybe drink some Echelon. Links to both of those available over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out.
I agree with a lot of things he said. Yep. I agree with them. AC, one of the best inventions ever.
Don't forget to,
you know what?
Go check out Supremacy World War III, unlock your railgun, and go conquer the British. That's what George
But no, I have to agree actually. AC, it's very efficient, very good, one of the best inventions. If I didn't have AC during summer, I would cry myself to sleep. Yup. All I have in my AC on at night. It lets me sleep well. Yep. You know what happens when I forget to turn on my AC at night? I wake up all sweaty and shit, and then I can't fall back asleep. No, no, no. You use your tears to defeat just, but what is this? Tofu? What is this? No.